Hi guys, this is Come Flying to the Sky. Thank you for joining me here today. I have a dream that I want to share with you. I had this dream last fall of 2020. So in this dream, I found myself standing in front of an old 3-story house that my husband and we used to own. And this house is like from the early 1900s. We had bought it, a number of years ago. We had renovated it pretty much top to bottom, and then we ended up selling it and moving to where we are now. And so in this dream though, I found myself standing once again in front of this house, and I knew I used to own that house, but I didn't anymore, that somebody else had bought and is now living there. And so also in this dream, I happened to look down and I had this key to the house in my hand, and I was like, oh, that's strange, I still have the key. And so I walked up to the front door, I unlocked it, and I walked in, and the current owners in the dream, they were sitting there kind of in the living room, and they saw me come in and stand there, and they're like, oh hey, like someone's in our house. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I have the key, I don't know. And they're like, oh okay, she has the key, and so in the dream, everyone's okay with it. So I walked straight up the stairs to this one closet. I knew exactly where I was going in this dream. And so as I opened up the closet, this closet was like the only place in like the whole house that had not yet like ever been renovated. And when I say renovated, I mean like never, since like the early 1900s. So it had like over 100 years of like dirt in there and cobwebs, and it was full of stuff, just like junk and just things that were like unclean. And so also during that time period, it had gone through being a drug house at one point, and so it was like full of like that kind of grime and just that filth from that as well. And so as I'm looking in this closet in this dream, I started taking things out, and it was just like really matter of fact. I was taking things out, and I was just talking to the family who are currently living and owning in this home, and I said, this closet is really, really important to keep clean and to renovate, because this is where we hang our robes of righteousness. And then I woke up. So when I woke, I was like, wow, that is a really specific thing I said. And I said, God, please share with me what this dream means, because I really don't know. And so he really quickly just started revealing the pieces of the dream to me. And so in this dream, the house represents like our life. So at one point I used to live in that place, but I didn't anymore. I had moved on, and someone else had actually taken up residence in that exact same place. And so I had the key still to that place because I had once lived there and once owned it. And so I believe that key represents, I don't know how to say this, there might be a better way to say it, but like in a way, some sort of access or ability into that place. You could say some sort of a little bit of authority into, I guess, in that way, but I don't want that to be taken weird. But some sort of ability or way, like I said, access to be able to go into this house, which represents another person's life. Now, in this dream, I knew exactly where I was going, exactly what closet I was walking to. Why? Because I had once lived there and I'd once owned that same house. So I knew exactly where that closet was. And so I believe that that closet in there that was so dirty and grimy, like this is what the Lord had been sharing with me about this, is that, sometimes we have our lives as believers, and most of our life, that most people are connected to and that they see us in, they're clean, right? We've done a good job, cleaning them up and making them new and fresh and whatever you want to say. And that's the part that most people see. But these closets sometimes are places that most people don't need to go to. They don't really have a reason to go there, but they're there. And so we often just pile the junk into these closets in our life, and they're often kept in the dark away from the light so nobody can see them, and we just kind of ignore them. They're just stashed there, and that's that. Just imagine if this scenario was actually in your own physical house. Like imagine that your house is all clean and everything, but there's this closet, you throw in all this junks and banana peels, and it's like, really, really dirty. Maybe there's mice living in there, like who knows? Like, would you take like your most like expensive, say, gown or your most expensive suit, and would you put it into that closet to store? We know that that would not be a suitable place to hang something as valuable as that. And so as this translates from the dream, as believers, these little areas in our life that we think are not really important because they're kind of small, nobody needs to go there, and they're tucked away, and it's just, we'll just keep it closed. But in this dream, it was very specific that even though this closet is very small, it has a very specific function in our life. It's very important, even though it's something that we don't necessarily think of very often. And these closets in our life that are unclean actually do affect or garments that are supposed to be righteous and pure and spotless. So the application of this dream is that we are, yes, for sure, supposed to be paying attention to these closets in our life, these areas that we've neglected to keep clean and kind of been shoving everything away into. But also the other message in this dream was very specifically that if someone has lived somewhere before or been in that place before or gone before you and has been and dwelt somewhere, and now you're finding yourself there, maybe you don't even know. Maybe you don't even know there's an area in your life that is needing attention, but maybe someone else can recognize it even though you don't. Why? Because they've once lived there. And I pray that we all have a humble heart, that we are willing to have ears to hear and eyes to see what the Spirit is saying, even through other brothers and sisters who are trying to help us through bringing loving correction into our lives. All right, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and God bless.